Today in Crypto. The Dogecoin Foundation, a non-profit organization behind the meme-based cryptocurrency Dogecoin, DOGE, is working on a staking mechanism in collaboration with Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin. The foundation on Thursday released its Dogecoin Trailmap, or a dog walk that the Dogecoin Foundation is committed to exploring and which it believes would contribute to Dogecoin's success.Continue, reading on Coin Telegraph. Tristan is the core contributor to Zeta Markets, an under-collateralized DeFi derivatives platform, providing liquid derivatives trading to individuals and institutions alike. We've seen a Cambrian explosion in the DeFi ecosystem in 2021, with peak TVL approaching $300 billion versus the 2020 peak of $21 billion. This sounds like the growth surely has to slow. Yet, DeFi still represents just a fraction of SaFi trading volumes. Continue reading on Coin Telegraph. Twitter boss Jack Dorsey kicked off a major storm this week, attacking an idea that cryptocurrency enthusiasts widely believe will lead to a new dawn for decentralized finance and the Internet, the coming of Web3. Proponents of Web3 hail it as a major revolution of the Internet, bringing back control and ownership of information and assets exchanged over the web to the people. With that promise, it will also kill off the role of many of the giants that dominate the Internet today, namely the likes of Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But Dorsey suggested in a tweet which has been retweeted almost 7,000 times that at the moment, Web3 is more of a marketing ploy than anything else. You don't own Web3. The VCs and their LPs do. It will never escape their incentives. It's ultimately a centralized entity with a different label. Know what you're getting into, Jack, at Jack. December 21, 2021. What Dorsey is saying is that not even Web3 has what's required to escape the influence of the venture capitalists and liquidity providers that run the World Wide Web today. The tweet was quickly met with an angry backlash from the thousands of developers who are working night and day to create a Web3 entity that is precisely what Dorsey says it won't be, an entity free from the influence of VCs. Quickly there emerged a chorus of voices calling out Dorsey for crushing the hopes and dreams of multiple brave people, with others claiming that in his naivete he simply doesn't understand what is going on with Web3 and therefore his comments should just be ignored. Tesla founder Elon Musk, ever eager to play a part in all debates, crypto, chirped in with a snarky comment that underscores how the very definition of Web3 is still up for debate. Has anyone seen Web3? I can't find it. Elon Musk, at Elon Musk. December 21, 2021. A more informed reply came from Willy Woo, an on-chain analyst with a big following in the crypto community who obviously does know what's up with Web3. In Woo's opinion, we've already seen the power of Web3 and how it enables people to wrest back control of a project when they don't like the direction it's headed. If they are truly open protocols, if the incentives get too perverse, the community rips the network away from the founder/VC coalition. It's the community that powers these networks. For example, 2014 crypto to Monero relaunch or the recent community versus Brock Pierce battle on EOS. Willy Woo, at Woonomic. December 21, 2021. Woo was of course referring to the recent battle between the community at EOS, led by the recently formed EOS Network Foundation, and its main developer, Block.one. Concerned by Block.one's clear lack of commitment to the EOS project, which has struggled to capitalize on its blockbuster $4 billion eco in 2018, the community earlier this month voted overwhelmingly to kick Block.one from its role leading the project, in the process blocking it from receiving any more payments. Block.one had been set to receive 67 million EOS tokens, $250 million, over the next 6 to 7 years, but the community decided it wasn't working hard enough and didn't deserve that money, so it dropped it altogether. If that's not a show of the power of Web3, it's hard to know what is. The lack of any kind of response or fight back from Block.one only serves to emphasize how little power it has when the community's support is pulled out from under its feet. Through a supermajority consensus, the EOS network has taken its future in its own hands by voting to fire Block.one and stop vesting tokens to them. This begins a new era for EOS and highlights the power of the blockchain to enable a community to stand up against corporate interests that don't align with theirs, said Yves Larose, leader of the EOS Network Foundation. As it turned out, The response of the furious Twitterati eventually prompted Dorsey to contradict himself while attempting to show that his tweet was intended more as a critique that might help the community to fix any outstanding issues. We have bigger issues if a tweet stifles hopes and dreams. Currently it's not wrong. Critique can help fix, or divert energy to something more important. Jack, at Jack, December 21, 2021. So if Web3 is not wrong, then how can Dorsey be right? December has turned out to be a red month for Bitcoin and other indexes as sell-offs have rocked the crypto space. Bitcoin and altcoins alike have recorded numerous losses tied to investors selling off their holdings and hunkering down for what looks to be the beginning of a drawn-out bear market. Some have however suffered more than others in a war that has turned bloody for investors. All across the market, indexes continue to record double-digit drops, signaling no improvement from the previous week as losses had also risen to the double digits. Losses have run even higher for the past 7 days with the small cap index taking the biggest hit of all. Related reading: despite crackdown, Bitcoin mining is still alive and well in China. Bitcoin has suffered significant losses since the crash at the beginning of the month. The digital asset was pushed towards the low $40,000s and has struggled to move out of this price range since then. On the index front, the asset has not done too well either as it has recorded losses up into the double digits and much higher than that recorded for the previous week. Bitcoin alone saw a 20% loss for a 7-day period, up 5% from the previous week's loss of 15%. This has made it one of the hardest hit digital assets in the space despite maintaining the largest market share. The other indexes were not left out of the onslaught, all continuing the trend of double-digit losses. For a 7-day period, the mid-cap index held up best out of all the indexes but not by a wide margin. The large-cap index mirrored Bitcoin's losses with a 20% loss for the week. The small-cap index saw the most losses for the week with a 28% loss, marking the worst performance of all of the indexes for the month of December. Bitcoin has maintained the largest share of the cryptocurrency market. However, this number has continued to drop as months go by. 5 years ago, Bitcoin had controlled about 90% of the total market share. Today, it has dropped to less than 50% of the market share it used to command, evidenced in the market dominance of the digital asset. Some of the biggest coins by market cap have outperformed Bitcoin for the last week. This outperformance has translated to an encroachment on the market dominance of Bitcoin. Once again, BTC's market dominance has dropped close to 40%. A crucial point that altcoins have not been able to break. Related reading: Bitcoin leads as markets sees record outflows. Bear market incoming. Nevertheless, altcoins have enjoyed significant growth in the way of market dominance given that at the start of the year, Bitcoin's market dominance was as high as 73%. With the year drawing to a close, altcoins have managed to steal over 30% dominance from BTC, and 2022 may be the year that it finally breaks below the 40% resistance point. Just in time for Christmas, Earth-2 has launched its new gifting feature, allowing players the ability to send ownership of unique virtual land tiles of any geolocation on Earth. Virtual land on Earth-2 directly corresponds to exact locations in the real world, making each piece of land, including the sole ownership of that land, completely unique. The gifting feature will not only make it easier for the welcoming of new players into community-driven land projects, such as megacities, but also serves as an interesting and different type of gift experience which provides the recipient with direct ownership of land at the starting point of Earth-2's metaverse, the largest virtual land registry in the world in both size and diversified ownership. Earth-2 predicts the metaverse to be a constantly growing and evolving concept, much like the Internet. And with this ongoing expansion, the number of possible use cases and functions for virtual land inside the metaverse will continue to grow. Empowering players with more agency over the utility of their land, beyond trading, is a natural progression towards the futuristic, player-driven metaverse envisioned by Earth-2, said Earth-2 founder, Shane Isaac. Irrelevant of the occasion, virtual land makes for a very different, interesting and unique gift, on so many levels. Players of Earth-2 have already begun discovering such versatility, with one player taking advantage of the new feature, in his own unique way. to create a virtual memento of the exact location where his engagement proposal took place. I proposed in front of thousands of people before watching the Nutcracker at the Lexington Opera House, said Matt Hayden, an Earth-2 community member who recently shared his special experience publicly online. He went on to say, "I'm thankful Earth-2 added the gifting option." A few minutes and one tile later it frozen a moment in time forever. It's a simple way to engage the recipient and give them a taste of ETH2. New user or existing, it's a nice touch just in time for the holiday season. Pictured, above and below, newly engaged couple, Matt Hayden and his fiancée. Image credit, Matt Hayden. Using our new gifting feature to share and immortalize meaningful locations is only one of many varying reasons to give the gift of land to someone. With our recent introduction of Tier 2 virtual land tiles, a partnership with Polygon Studios and the tech acquisition of Drone the Game, now is a great time for players to reserve their own piece of the future inside Earth-2. Pictured, above and below, image of the land tile purchased by Matt Hayden and the description of the property. Gifting is available from one Earth-2 user to another or one Earth-2 user to any valid email address. In the future, gifting will also expand to become available on Earth-2's own social media platform. The team at Earth-2 loved hearing about the story of Matt's proposal. If you have a unique story you would like to share with us, post it on our official Earth-2 community Facebook page, or tag us in our socials. About Earth-2. Earth-2 registered as a futuristic concept for a second Earth, a metaverse, between virtual and physical reality in which real-world geolocations correspond to user-generated digital virtual environments. These environments can be owned, bought, sold, and in the near future deeply customized. Permission was obtained from Matt Hayden to include his story and images in this article. The Earth-2 team would like to thank Matt Hayden for his permission and to congratulate Matt and his fiancée on their beautiful and unique engagement. We wish them many happy years ahead together. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.